As one who lived to advocate love for all of humanity, including animals, there is extensive evidence that shows Jesus led his life as a pacifist and a vegetarian. In the Old Syriac Gospels, Luke 21:34, Lord Jesus is quoted as saying,
"Now beware in yourselves, that your hearts do not become heavy with the eating of flesh, and with the intoxication of wine, and with the anxiety of the world, and that day come upon you suddenly, for as a snare it will come upon all them that sit on the surface of the earth."
And in the Gospel of Matthew, there are also teachings of Jesus which make the most sense when deciphered from a vegetarian standpoint. For example,
"Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You are like whitewashed tombs, which look beautiful on the outside, but on the inside are full of the bones of the dead and everything unclean. In the same way, on the outside you appear to people as righteous, but on the inside you are full of hypocrisy and wickedness."
in an interview with Supreme Master Television, Keith Akers, author of the book The Lost Religion of Jesus, reaffirmed the evidence that Lord Jesus was indeed a vegetarian.
There were a bunch of people in the early church who didn't eat meat and didn't drink wine. It's clear. We hear from other sources that all the apostles were vegetarian, and that James, the brother of Jesus, was also a vegetarian. Hegesippus is quoted as saying that James, the brother of Jesus, was not only a vegetarian, but he didn't drink wine, and he was raised that way. He was wholly from his mother's womb. In other words, he was vegetarian from his birth. So why would Jesus' parents raise James as vegetarian and not raise Jesus as a vegetarian? It was a vegetarian family. So I think it's pretty clear, actually.
Another incident in the Gospel that depicts the Master's concern for animals is when he boldly puts an end to the animal sacrifice.
This is a critical event in the life of Jesus. And just the week before his death, Jesus goes into the temple and he disrupts the animal sacrifice business. And this is the incident that everyone remembers as Jesus overturns the tables of the money changers. But in fact, he's not primarily interested in the money changers. He's interested in the people that are selling and buying animals. Why are they selling and buying animals? These are the animals that are going to be sacrificed. The incident in the temple is actually found in all four Gospels. It's one of the few incidents in Jesus' life which is found in all four Gospels. And this is how John describes it. When the Passover of the Jews was at hand, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. In the temple he found those who were selling oxen and sheep and pigeons, and the money changers at their business. And making a whip of cords, he drove them all with the sheep and oxen out of the temple. And he poured out the coins of the money changers and overturned their tables. And he told those who sold the pigeons, "Take these things away." And so what is going on here? It's primarily directed against the people who are dealing in animals. And this is what got Jesus killed.
The sacrifice of animals is also condemned in the Hebrew Bible. For example, In the book of Yesaja it is stated,
Whoever slaughters an ox is like one who kills a human being. Whoever sacrifices a lamb, like one who breaks a dog's neck.
Distinguished American monk, Zen priest, and author Dr. Stephen Harefield shared with Supreme Master Television his research findings about Master Jesus Christ's upbringing.
Jesus was an Essene. You read an older Bible and you read a newer one, and there are huge, blatant differences. In the older ones it said Jesus would retire to Mount Carmel. In the newer Bibles it said he would go up on the mountain. Where's Mount Carmel? That's where they found the Dead Sea Scrolls. That was the home of the Essenes. Mary, his mother, was a master in the Essenes, and she was a leader. The second thing is, the older Bibles don't say that Joseph was a carpenter. What it says is Joseph was a master of the craft. He was an Essene. He was an alchemist. So, what does that make Christ? An Essene.
Dr. Harefield, many people think that Jesus was a vegetarian. What's your take on that?
I have no doubt or no question that he was.
In an interview with journalist Andrea Bonney that was published in the Irish Independent newspaper in December 2008, Supreme Master Ching Hai addressed Lord Jesus' teachings regarding a compassionate diet and biblical translation variances that may have led to misinterpretations.
Poor Jesus. Everyone tried to put meat or fish into the Lord's mouth. He's a pure vegetarian. He came from Essener tradition, and the Esseners are vegetarian all the time. Clearly, in the Bible, it stated in many places that humans should not eat meat at all. Be thou not among flesh eaters and wine drinkers. Yeah, meat for the belly, belly for the meat, and God will destroy both meat and them. Who told you to kill all the bullocks and the she-sheep to make offer for me? Please stop the killing of all these innocent. Wash your hands, because they are full of blood. If you continue to do that, I will turn my head away when you pray. And there is a translated book from Aramaic by Edmund Bordeaux-Zescali. You know, he's Hungarian. From the old textbooks, which were found in the Vatican archive, believed to be the teaching of Jesus. In that, Jesus instructed that his disciples should not eat animal flesh at all. If the Lord were to eat fish, why would he tell his first 12 disciples to forsake fishing and follow him to fish men instead?
Yeah.
You see, a compassionate master like Jesus, who would carry a stranger's weak, injured lamb up to the hill, so the lamb would not be beaten up or kicked by the shepherd or dragged by the shepherd. How would he eat any living creature?
Keith Akers also points out the existence of different versions of the same biblical story.
If you look at other accounts of these same incidents, if you look, for example, at the early church fathers, who also talked about these stories. Irenaeus mentions the feeding of the 5,000. Eusebius also mentions that, and Arnobius, another early church writer, also discusses the Jesus feeding of the multitudes, the miraculous feeding of the multitude. And in every case they discuss the bread, but they don't mention anything about fish.
For more info on the historical evidence of Jesus being a vegetarian, please visit Keith Akers' website, www.compassionatespirit.com. Keith Akers' book, The Lost Religion of Jesus, is available at the same website or at www.amazon.com.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/VE.